'Cause tonight will be the night that I will fall for you
again.
3, 2, 1. What's up,
Yo,
guys?
yo. We back, bro. Bro,
we
it's.
back. What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
Anyway, we're moving forward.
Hey, bro, be careful. Don't go through my search history, dog.
All I'm saying is skirt. If you get it, you get it. Listen, so it's been a tough Premier League weekend for some, great for others.
It has been great for others, but you've also had a few blips there.
Yeah, a few
A lot has happened. A lot has been a lot of games. There's been a lot of games. I feel like the table is looking a bit shaky for the Mandem, but for some it's looking good.
Yeah.
What's that gap now? 5 points between the Gunners and City. 5
points between the
you guys are
Gunners
playing
and
tomorrow?
United. We are playing. There's 3 points between Arsenal and City.
Yeah, so you guys are playing tomorrow?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, big game, but
Big game.
let's not go there. Like I say always, the winning team, they get to talk. So let's talk about the United. Let's talk about United's performance.
United's performance. What can I say, man? Rashi, aerial threat now.
Aerial threat. Yeah.
He's really added so much bows to his fucking quiver, bro.
It's Benny.
Arrows to his quiver. It's crazy.
This nigga just has 1 arrow, 3 bows connected.
What's that thing you were talking about?
The trisexual.
Trisexual bow. Man, you got a trisexual bow there.
Nigga identifies as a woman, as a man, and as none of the above.
you got that code A, B, and C license, but you got no license
At the same time. Fuck, let us not. Why must we get ourselves cancelled in every video?
Nah, never mind, man. We cool. We have a loyal fan base.
We have a loyal fan base and they understand our humor. You know,
yes, absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Look, the fuck. I think Benny's a big part of it, eh?
Yeah,
How come Rashford is just like a good striker now?
Yeah.
Like before he was a good left winger. Now he's like a good striker.
I think Benny, and I also think Erik ten Hag really expected a lot more from him. And look, he had to carry a load because he's the only one that can really carry that load at the moment.
Yeah, he's the only one. V.A.R is not.
And I see V.A.R is a waste, man.
He honestly sounds like a brand of sausage.
Absolutely. What championship V.A.R?
I'm telling
Championship V.A.R?
I'm telling you, just on a bride. Did you get the V.A.R? I don't know.
But the norm is, no. The norm is. The thing is about this whole the Rashi transformation. I think it's a combination of multiple things. I think CR7 leaving gave him that room to shine. When Rashi has the responsibility on his shoulders, I think he can pull through. He needs a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. He needs to be the main man. And I think down the center is eventually his path. He's got the build for it. He's got the attributes. He really just needs to own that position. Do you know what I mean?
It's so difficult, no, for wingers to convert into strikers because I think a big part of it is positioning. And I think at the moment, my only reason why I would say Rashford and why I believe he might not be able to transition. This isn't me like tricking Afna. This is again just an objective view. It's because Rashford uses his pace for everything rather than positioning. Yeah. So Rashford, when he's in the central role, tries to get in behind. Yeah. I don't see him come show for the ball, and when he shows for the ball, his hold-up play is not
He doesn't have. Big Horse has that hold-up play. He doesn't have that hold-up
play. But Rashford has no hold-up play.
He has no
so
play.
To be a striker, you can't have no hold-up play because then you can go in that graveyard United shift where you're just doing fuck up front. And if the ball isn't played in behind, then Rashford essentially doesn't give you anything in striker. Whereas in the left wing, you can take people on because there's space. There's no space down the middle.
That's how I would prefer us not having that graveyard shift fucking hold-up play striker. I want us to have a fluid front three. I want us to have 3 fucking wingers that can all score goals.
Yes, but who holds the play? Who holds the player?
Who
holds the ball up?
Fuck that holding the ball up.
You need to hold the ball up. You need someone that can give you, like, for instance now, no? Perfect example with Arsenal. He didn't get to score his goals. He didn't get to not hold the fucking ball up to save his life, blood. That ball gets to him, and it's just, I know when it touches his foot, so we're going to lose this ball now. He's going to misplace a pass. He's not going to hold it up. He's going to catch on some stupid cuck. Yeah. So you need that hold-up play, and I think that's the thing stopping him from transitioning. He can't, the ball isn't safe with Rashford, because he still has that Bruno in him. That Manchester United FC, get the ball, kick it, chase it, kick it.
Sees fucking red, bro. Absolutely. Blood on the leaves.
Stock stiff and start fucking hurting.
But he scored quite a few. I saw the stat that said nobody in Europe's top 5 leagues has scored more than Rashford since the World Cup.
Look, I don't like stats like that because those stats
I like
skew
it. I like it when it's for my player.
Yeah, those stats skew the narrative. I think he's on 11 goals now in the Premier. 12.
12, yeah.
12, yeah. But he's been nowhere close to the other strikers.
So the other strikers is 17 and fucking
25. So he's been nowhere close to them. So
that's fine for me. Look, as long
I
as
know,
we
yes,
somewhere,
but I'm more talking towards the stats since the World Cup. No, that just means he was dead for a while.
No,
Just like
Kane
is out, and there's still going to be people that's going to say, "Oh, Rashford for player of the season." He's not. It's not, because if you're comparing him against the other strikers, no.
Yeah, Kane is definitely. I think Kane. Look,
Kane is like.
Kane is actually the exact striker. Kane at 28 is the exact kind of striker that we
Kane
need
is a
right
fucking raid boss.
Kane is a raid boss. Then he can hold up play. He can play the ball like an attacking, but he can score like a number 9.
Left, right. He can header.
He can kind of dribble,
free kicks. Like
he's an all-rounder.
He's the perfect 9.
He might not be fast, but I mean, he's the perfect show of how you don't. If you use nuance. You can play around your pace.
Now think that if Rashford had positioning like Kane, how much goals he would score. Because Kane doesn't break in behind anyone. Rashford gets in behind so often. Like these last few goals I've seen, it's just been good centre forward play. And I mean, this boy's flying with these headers. He's getting some good hang time. He's getting really good hang time.
But what I've seen, what Ten Hag does is Ten Hag leaves him on the left, and then he keeps championship vehicles in the middle, and then when it gets to about like 60th minute or so, then when he makes a change, then he'll bring on a new left wing, and then Rashford will transition to the middle. And then he can bring on that impact from the left wing, i.e. maybe Sancho, maybe Garnacho, or he might even start Garnacho or start Sancho or something like that. I think he likes being interchangeable with that kind of front 3 roles. I just think at the moment, we can do a lot better than fucking Wout Weghorst.
Okay,
and I think he's just a patching solution for now.
Yeah, you just needed something. A body's better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think we just need that, and we need someone to make sure that Fred never plays soccer ever again. Because Fred in the game before last,
he was bad.
Fred,
Sky City, that one was the 2-2.
Fucked me up.
Yo, blood,
Fred
that was rough
fucked
to watch.
me up, bro. I was emotional watching Fred. Fred really fucked me up, and I gave Fred a chance, and I gave Scott a chance, but I think the time is now.
It's abundantly clear.
The time is to move now.
You say the time is to move now, no? Freddy's probably on a 13-year deal at United with an extra
that's
option
of
another 13.
Isn't this his last year? He has 1 year left or something.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, Manchester United, they're going to give him a 300k contract at the end of the season.
But that's obviously what I want to see
the league.
change.
I'm telling you, if you win the league, that brother's getting a 10-year deal.
That's what I want to see change from all of us, from this new manager, from whoever's coming in, may it be the Qatari owners or the fucking Jim Jack.
It's most likely going to be Qatari.
You think it's more likely?
Yeah, no, they've submitted him 6 million. I saw this morning.
Did they submit?
6 billion. Yeah, they submitted 6 billion. That's what I saw. Sky
Qatar.
Sports. We are all Qatari.
We are all Qatari. We are all Qatari.
Today I feel Qatari.
Today I feel Qatari. See, whatever happens, I need to see tangible change in those areas, where it be the contract situations, the youth development. Everyone's talking about the stadium. I don't really care about the stadium, but the stadium, I suppose, is part of all of it. The stadium is now become a real thing. Like, everyone's like, oh, stadium must be done. The stadium must be done. It must be done. I really care about the youth and the contract situation.
Okay.
Get us, develop youth, buy good youth.
Stop extending Phil Jones' contract.
Stop. Get us players that with a high sell value, so we can actually sell them again, because we don't ever get to sell players. Don't buy players that you pay £100 for him now, and you are not going to be able to sell him.
You won't be able to recover any of the money.
And the contracts have to be better, bro. We can't be. Sancho's on like 350. Some cut like that. Lingard was on 200.
What's Sancho's next contract going to look like?
Yes, what's Sancho's next contract going to look like? And now he's on 350. Look at him now. He's kind of like in this weird space.
And he's 22. How old is Sancho? 22? Max?
I think it's like
21. Like, he's not old.
No.
So that brother, his next contract's probably going to come in like 25.
Fuck his next contract. What is next club going to look like? How are we
he's not going to make it at United.
How are we going? No, I'm not saying he won't make it at United.
Yeah, but there's no way you're gonna sell Sancho back to Dortmund for 20.
Yes, we're stuck with him now.
Yeah,
he's on 350k.
You're gonna sell him easy back to Dortmund 20. Yeah. Dortmund, he's gonna go to Dortmund, become a planet eater again. Yeah. Dortmund's gonna resell him for 80. You know how it goes.
And on how he's playing right now, no? we will not necessarily be able to sell him for anywhere near what we bought him. And no one's gonna want to pay him 350k for what he's doing now. Things could change. He could have a turnaround. He played really well in the game before last. Coming into the game, he played really well. But in the Sancho mode, the Sancho mode, he's not really bursting past people. He's doing little cute little passes. Yes, he's a cute little silky passer and shit like that in that space, in the kind of half space area. But he's not really the typical winger.
Yeah.
He's not really that kind of winger.
Listen here, this video can only be so long. We cannot go this in depth into United. Let's talk about the football. So we're going to move to the... I don't want to say Arsenal thing, because the Arsenal thing leads into everything else. So let's talk about the Premier League results this weekend and the issue at hand that happened this weekend. So there was a couple of games on Saturday. West Ham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brentford, and Brighton, Crystal Palace. Yeah. So in those 3 games, I watched the Chelsea-West Ham game and I was laughing because I was like, V.A.R is not playing today because it was a V.A.R. Because there was such an obvious handball, I think, in the build-up to West Ham's goal, I think. I think Tarkowski handled the ball. No, I'm confusing.
Tarkowski is for thinking.
Yes. There was a clear and obvious handling of the ball. No, I can't remember. So I was looking at this and I was like, no.
I didn't actually see that.
No overturn. So that already, but I was just like, okay, VAR's just acting mad. Arsenal, Brighton's at the same time, no? In the Arsenal game, I want to make it abundantly clear. They deserved the draw. So even though we scored our goal, no, they had enough opportunities to be up in the game by numerous goals. Yeah. Brentford played well. I have an idea of what's going wrong at Arsenal at the moment, but Brentford played really well.
What do you think is going wrong at Arsenal?
At the moment, teams have tactically found us out. So what they do is they overload our wingers, no? So there's 2 problems. Teams overload our wingers, they double up on our wingers, and we have inverted fullbacks. So our only width comes from our wingers, so they put 2 people on our wingers, no? Our right side is fed the best with Saka. So Odegaard plays right next to Saka and interchanges with Saka, and then Ben White kind of inverts. Sometimes he overlaps, but he generally inverts. On the left, Martinelli is basically on an island because Granit Xhaka plays next to him. But the problem is Zinchenko inverts. So Zinchenko is one of our best players, but Zinchenko is basically playing on top of Xhaka. So Xhaka can't do anything. Xhaka's played out of the game by his own teammate. No? Martinelli then has both fullback and the winger marking him. So every time Martinelli gets the ball, there's 2 people closing him down. No? There's no overlap because we invert.
Yeah.
So there's no one to pull a defender with him. So now we have an overload in the middle with 2 players essentially playing on top of each other and Martinelli isolated. So our whole left side, which is Zinchenko, Xhaka and Martinelli, is completely useless. Because either they're being cancelled out with the opposition or by themselves. So the 3 of them, they are good players, but the system isn't helping them thrive. Because if Martinelli had a fullback like Tierney pulling the fullback, the winger with him through, that makes space for Martinelli to run, but he can't take on 2 people every time. Then that's the problem on our left side. No? And we aren't adjusting to the fact that they're doubling on our wingers. And also, very importantly, Eddie Nketiah is not the answer.
Yeah, these are...
I've honestly just seen it. Eddie Nketiah is not a good striker. And Eddie Nketiah is a good bench player. But Eddie Nketiah...
He's got a lot of goals.
Yes, he did. No? But the reason we were always saying that Jesus was way better, and I've seen it like blatantly in our games. With Eddie, we have no press at the moment. We don't press teams. We've stopped pressing teams because Eddie can't do it. We just don't press anyone. Like in the beginning of the season, remember how we were harassing teams?
Yeah.
Like we just can't. We can't do that now. And now because of that, we don't do it. And now we're just playing pretty football in front of them. Old Arsenal style, but with no press.
Yeah.
You see, so that's redundant. The press, we used to win the ball so high up. We would score goals from mistakes from opposition. Now we're not winning the ball high up. Eddie can't hold the ball up. And we are being stifled out wide. So all of the solutions to our problem of Gabby not being there is being stifled. And also like we're just having some...
Just going through a
patch.
A young patch.
A patch. I still stand by my boys. And look, I've always said we're not going to win the league. No? My hope is that we win the league. But if we don't, I've seen such great improvement for this team. My love for the team is still there. My support is still there. And I know we'll come out of this. Gabby's at least walking now. He's training on grass. So at the end of March, they said. So we just need to make it through a month. That's like 4 more games.
You've outplayed the expectations.
We have, and think about it, no? When the World Cup happened, everyone said Gabby injured, Arsenal season is over. So we have managed to survive the better of 4 months, and we are only slipping now. Now you're seeing our best. The reason why our best player being out is a big
But
problem.
fans are hysterical these days, bro. Like
No, they're losing the plot. Like some of the Arsenal fans, bro.
But do you think when you guys play City, he's also going to exploit that kind of like gap in the market?
Pep. No, there's a gap. There's a gap in Pep's market also. Thing is, there's major gaps in Pep's market. Pep's value is on offense. His defense is years worse than ours. You know, I think it's going to be a great game. My nerves are going to be cloud watching it, obviously, but it's a tough game. It's at the Emirates. We have to win it.
Yeah.
We have to win it. You know, there's no other choice. But look, going deeper into what needs to be discussed is the VAR debacle. So with the Brentford goal, there was initially when the ball was crossed from a free kick, there was a block. So when they scored, VAR went to go and check the block. No, so that's the first phase, the ball coming into the box. That's about the 3-phase play. So ball goes into the box, someone gets blocked off. Gabriel can't get there because he gets blocked. It then gets to the man, the ball gets crossed over. It's gonna get. There's a whole series of errors that still lead up to that. Ramsdale goes out and flaps it again. Ramsdale's been really bad in the last couple. All of the results that we've dropped, Ramsdale's been directly at fault for.
Yeah.
The Everton goal last week, directly at fault. So just flapped at that. This one, he flapped that and got nothing and just left the poles wide open.
Against United, he also flapped it.
He also flapped at that. So he's been really cuck. Let's get that abundantly clear. Then... And he's a championship goalkeeper. What the fuck? You can't deal with balls in the air? This is all the fuck y'all did.
You were fighting in World War I.
Bro, like that's...
Come on, bro.
That's why we got you.
Yeah.
You want to act like you just a ball-playing centre-back. Motherfucker, you came from the championship. Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
Sheffield
Wednesday,
United.
it was
United.
Bournemouth, wasn't it?
Bournemouth at Sheffield. You played for both.
Bournemouth, okay, yeah.
He got relegated with both. So you know what it is to catch eyeballs, blood.
Yeah, you know, you be catching them.
So then basically what happened is when it went to VAR, VAR kept checking this block and wanted to make sure there was no foul in the block. Then they checked if there was an offside in the block. And even the offside in the block was so tight, no? But they never ruled the line for that one. They were just doing it by eye. And then I watched them go to the next phase. I was like, whoa, you're offside? Are we checking this? Then they skip that phase and they go to the final phase where the ball's crossed. And the brother crosses the ball, he's offside. I'm like, are we checking this? Yeah. And they didn't check anything. And I'm sitting there and I was like, I'm seer, but I can't be seer because Brentford deserved it. I could be more seer if we were dominating the game and this was just against the play of luck, but they deserved the point. Now afterwards, I'm thinking, how was that not checked? How is there no lines? And I'm just thinking, but my mouth is paining after this game. Maybe, bro, won't I see the next morning a message from the Premier League's referee association?
They DM'd you direct.
I saw the notification that it was they just forgot to check the lines, and I was like, this is the second time Premier League referees have made a mistake where they've had to come out and apologize to Arsenal this season. And it's costing us points, no? The argument I ask is, when players fucked up, they get flamed on Twitter. When managers get fucked up, they get flamed on Twitter. They lose their jobs. Players get benched. Like, there's so much repercussions for everyone else, no? Referees are literally costing... Like, we lost 2 points because of that. Because essentially it wasn't a goal. I'm not serious about it. They deserved it. But we lost 2 points because of a refereeing mistake. Again. This isn't the first time it's happened to us. We're the only team that has had 2 official apologies from this Nias for things where they cost us games. So... how is heads not rolling? How is that bro not being fired? Because you need to set an example. Because all they know is, okay, just be still. We're going to take you off the game next week. Just because Lee Mason was supposed to be the V.A.R. for the City game. No, not Lee Mason, the other one. That fucked up in the Brighton game. Just was. Blown by the joint this weekend. You'll be back in next weekend. So there's no fear within their people because they just make the mistakes. What? They give us an apology. It was a serious error. VAR was supposed to prevent these errors. But VAR is now creating more errors than ever before.
But you know, it's such a tricky one, no? Because if you really think about it, look, I feel like without VAR, I'm not exactly the greatest fan of VAR, no? But I can recognize that without VAR, these errors would probably happen anyway. So, like, say for example, without VAR wasn't there, they would have given that goal and they wouldn't have been able to look at it in that kind of way. They wouldn't have been able to pick it apart.
Yes.
It's just with VAR, we are more in tune with the decision now. We can like see when there's mistakes made. I think VAR really shines a light on mistakes made, whether it be on the field by the on-field referee or in the V.A.R box. So it will shine light on those kind of errors, and like obviously it will inflame people. But like even if it wasn't there, there'd be moments where, like for example, you know that Lampard.
Yeah, I
back in
know
the day,
exactly.
There'd be so many moments where you can't really check it and then it'll go and there'll be mistakes. So either way, like either side of the coin, there's gonna be some mistakes. I really suppose it depends on how you view like what kind of mistakes you'd rather have. Like
Okay, no, how I bring this up, how I counter your point is, no? So what you're saying, okay, either way there will be mistakes, no? So think about it this way. I'm laying with gal blood.
you're like a big gal.
Playing with big gal, no rubber. Tut, pull out game. I make a baby, you know? That's because I was fucking with no rubber.
Yeah.
You see, I put on a rubber. Nigga bus and a girl wanna come to me, she pregnant, G. How?
No.
Condom company, how? Because you've told me this is gonna fix my baby problem. No? Now, this girl telling me she pregnant, that's my child. We've got a problem, condom company. So your job is to prevent this. And when you don't prevent this, regardless of how bad it was before there was condoms, you told me it's going to fix it now. So you must be held accountable for now. I've got a baby to feed now. Because the condom didn't work. And that's what V.A.R is. And with the Arsenal goal, what pissed me off was, no?
You felt like someone needs to be held accountable.
Yes, and because this isn't the first time it's happened to us.
Yeah.
This is now the second time, and we're the only club currently that have 2 official apologies from the Premier League Referee Association. So when will they be better? I understand once, no? But it's such grievous errors, they've had to come out and apologize, and they never come out and apologize. They've made 2 apologies this season, and both of them have been to Arsenal and someone else. But they've only apologized twice, and both of the times Arsenal's name was in the statement. We have 100% fuck up rate with V.A.R. When V.A.R fucks up, it's Arsenal. So you can understand from the fan base how we feel like it's us against the world now. Arteta's getting chuffed by the FA every single time. Everyone else does it, it's no problem. So as a fan base, we're like, the FA is definitely against us. Because it's clear in the numbers. Arsenal have been charged the most by the FA for behaviour. We've had the most V.A.R errors. Like, come on, blood. But look, back to that decision, huh? They focused so much on the block. They never checked the goal.
They do that often. They get sidetracked by all of the side missions. Like, oh, we need to check this. Oh, we need to check this. But
they never checked the onside for the goal. That's it. That's your minimum thing. When the goal happens, the assist to the goal scorer, you need to check that, and they didn't. So fuck that, blood. The only thing that made me happy was I got to watch Spurs get spluffed up.
But do you think do you think that there needs to be some adjustments to the rules for these kind of things? Because I feel like the way the rules are set up,
They kind of search. They can go search.
They can go search, and it's set up in a way that there can be so much mistakes that can be made. You know what I mean? Like there can be so much mistakes, but it's never, these rules are never just black and white, clear cut, bang. This is it. That's it. It's always like you can look at it from 5 angles, and maybe you can get a different decision. It's never like, oh, you just need one angle to see this guy, like fucking in rugby. If you tackle him in his boots like that, then it's a thing. Whatever. It's a thing, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's so fucking. There's so much fucking introspection that can go into one decision. I just think it's too much. I think it's too much. There's too much that goes into it.
I think what they must do is definitely, and this makes the most obvious sense, we have cars that can drive themselves. I'm sure we can get software that automates offside. Done. Well, just offside. They'll tell us if it's offside by a meter, by a centimeter. They definitely can make automated offside rules. Definitely. It won't be difficult. They can just automate it. Let the AI go and look. Skynet just goes to go and look. Skynet's like, fuck, he was offside by this far. The goal, no goal. So you have an AI software which can make mistakes, but it's less likely to make a mistake because the AI will always run the offside. Whereas this brat didn't even check the offside. He was checking other cuck. So the AI, at least you'll know the offside is covered. Then you can check the rest of the cuck. No? That's the first thing. Second thing that we're going to need to give more confidence in Premier League referees is we need to hear what the fuck they are saying.
Yeah, they're saying absolutely.
We need to hear what the conversation is. Yes. And then lastly, there must be repercussions for refereeing mistakes.
If we are privy to that, imagine the kind of heat referees will get for cuck they're saying.
No, but why shouldn't it be?
Football fans are tribalists.
But think, why shouldn't that be? Why does every other aspect from manager to owner to player get crazy heat? But the referees and the FA can just sit there and no one can tell them. You can't think about it, no? You as a player, if one of Arsenal's players had to go out and say that VAR was rigged, that was definitely offside, they're trying to cheat us. That's a 5-match ban.
Yeah.
You got a 5-match ban for saying what the reality was. So you would get, like, remember Declan Rice after the Europa League semi-final last season?
Oh, yeah.
He got banned for that. He got banned for, I think, 3 or 4 games for saying that, no? But the issue now is the referee gets to go home, oh, I made a mistake. So there must be accountability, either the merit system, where if you fucked up this many times, you can't be in certain matches. And if you just made a fuck up against Arsenal, how can you sit in the next Arsenal game? How can you VAR Arsenal game again that season? You must now be off the Arsenal games. You see? And that's the only way there would be accountability to fans. You need to...
Okay, last on this topic, no? Let's say we're in a panel. Vote against going back to how it was before, or keeping it like it is now. What did your vote be?
Keep VAR.
Keep VAR.
Improve VAR.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking? If VAR is great, but back then there were less strips, bro. Before we knew what VAR was, before we knew what we have now, back then we were just like fucking ignorance is bliss. Back then it was simpler. These discussions, it would be arguments between me and you, like, oh no, it's offside, blah 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 blah, and then that would be all. But that's it. It was never like, we never had this. There was no like fucking binoculars, fucking microscopes. We had to look at this under. Do you know what I mean? We never really had that. It added a different kind of dimension to the whole like footballing aspect. So I think maybe back then life was simpler, bro. Life was and I think if we go onto the Skynet thing, it'll come with its pros, but it'll also bring cons.
It will bring cons.
Add another dimension to this whole kind of thing.
And it kind of makes us entitled. Because now VAR is there, there's more pressure on getting the decision.
Everyone kind of has a god complex now. We're like out to you.
Look, we're getting to the end of the video. What I can say was, and I stand by this, Brentford deserved the draw. I'm not sitting here and pointing fingers at VAR for the result. I'm pointing fingers at VAR for the fact that this keeps happening to us. And it's the only team in the league that it keeps happening to. Because we have 200% more of these apologies than United do, than City do. Like, all of the rivals around us haven't had one of these things happen to them. We've had 2. So that's standing. And that said, lastly, I just want to give a shout out to that special United supporter. I won't say your name. I won't expose you. But I keep saying United supporter because I want you to see the mindset that came with. This man stopped me yesterday while I was pulling my car out. And this man is like, no, he just put 1,000 rand bet on Everton to beat Liverpool. I was like, blood, you smoking booch. You are smoking.
He's on copium.
Bro, copium mixed with taray paper. I'm going to tell you.
What did you say? He threw his money in the hole.
He threw money in the hole. He put 1,000 rand on Everton to beat Liverpool at Anfield. Brother, I don't care. When it comes to a derby, where you are in life doesn't matter. If Liverpool had lost to 18th place Everton, Klopp has no job. I want to tell you now, that's never going to work. That's never going to work. They have to win. And obviously they're going to win. It's at Anfield. It's good as it. It's like different like with City and United, you know. City's like, your rival is better than you.
Yeah, it's fucked
like
up.
With Arsenal, Spurs and us are on the same level. Like, you know. Everton is relegation fodder, blood. They are fighting for their lives, and you want to put money in a hole, Jesus. So just that, guys, stop betting on teams that's not your own team, and don't bet 1,000. Are you sick?
See, maybe bro got that money to bro. Maybe it's that bag, man. Maybe the bread, man. Maybe about that. You know what? Maybe the Hollywood bits.
The alternative is he's just a dumb puss.
Sorry, random citizen.
No, I'm not sorry. You're a dumb liar. Guys, thank you so much.
It's been great. Until next time, Takalani Sesame.
GG's.